Cold spell and heavy snow causes disruptions in Britain. London, a city known for its low tolerance for snow, was buffeted by an unusually thick snowfall on Wednesday, the heaviest in more than 20 years. An unusually heavy snowfall has stranded hundreds of motorists, disrupted trains, and shut down schools and airports across Britain, as the country suffers through its longest cold snap in some 30 years or more. Airports across the country were paralyzed, with London's Gatwick and Stansted unable to operate, and hundreds of flights cancelled. At Gatwick, where the only runway had been shut for snow clearance all day, more than 240 flights were cancelled. London Luton Airport was closed until early afternoon. A dozen flights were also cancelled at London's Heathrow Airport, Europe's busiest, with long lines building at check-in desks. The foul weather also badly hit Britain's road network. Sections of the country's most important highways, including the M1, which links London and Leeds, were closed, and the military was called in overnight to help rescue motorists when up to 1,000 vehicles were caught in a snow-related traffic jam in Hampshire and southern England. Many people were evacuated to nearby rescue centers, but some stayed in their vehicles overnight. The heavy demands on rescue workers in southern England were so overwhelming that Coast Guard workers turned their skills from sea to land to help out. Train services were also affected, with lines in southern England reporting reduced services. Eurostar, whose service through the Channel Tunnel was frozen for days by snow-related problems in the run-up to Christmas, said it was canceling 4 services Wednesday due to the weather, and nationwide thousands of schools had closed down. Ill-equipped for heavy snowfall. British winters are typically mild, and it mostly just rains, and cities and towns are generally ill-equipped to deal with heavy snowfall, with the worst-hit areas seeing up to 16 inches of snow or more. Officials and road crews were struggling just to keep up. Several local governments were running out of sand and salt, with some reportedly emptying department stores of supplies. The wintry weather has prompted some police forces to urge drivers to stay off the roads, and some trash collectors to suspend their rounds. The National Weather Office says Britain is experiencing its longest cold snap since at least 1981, and the unusually cold weather is expected to continue for the next few weeks. The duty forecaster at Britain's Weather Office said it's very unusual for something like this to last as long as it has, but noted that such events can happen every 20 to 30 years. But this is a particularly cold spell or a cold snap. And as Britain's embattled Prime Minister Gordon Brown was confronted with yet another challenge to his leadership, breathless political commentary vied for television airtime, with even more breathless weather reports. And as deep as 18 inches in some areas. The snowfall on Wednesday was the biggest in southern England since at least 1987. The weather even entered the country's fractious pre-election politics, with the Conservative opposition in Parliament assailing the Labour government over a warning from a major utility, National Grid, that demand for gas was outstripping supply. Snow can become a political issue here. Last year, the Mayor of London, Boris Johnson, was roundly criticized for not preparing the city adequately for a snowfall that was much less severe than this year's. So, a snowy winter, a very cold winter for Britain, and for much of the United States, and China, South Korea, Germany, and many parts of Europe. This is a very cold winter. Could this be, could this be Earth's response or reaction to global warming or climate change, whatever have you call it? Yes, it is possible. And again, all these things are more signs of the end times transition days. There's something much bigger going on here. And all systems that must change for the better. And there are many signs happening daily all around the world.